day. So here we are in Nicosia, the last divided city of Europe. Now that's quite a title, don't you think? What a status. A split capital. And those of us who live on the island belong to either side. So we're either on the Greek Cypriot or the Turkish Cypriot side of the island. Now, you might not identify with this particular split, but the fact is that each one of us belongs to or identifies with different splits, different groups, different ideologies. It is a case of us versus them. Have you ever wondered how these affect your inner life, your psyche? How they affect your perception of the world? Can we surpass them, transcend them? Why should we try? I want to assure you that this presentation has nothing to do with politics, religion, sports, or personal ideology even. This presentation is going to derive its meaning from a analytic point of view, from the approach that touches the depths of our psyche. And particularly, I will use the theory of one of the founders of psychoanalysis, Swiss psychiatrist Carl Gustav Jung. And as I'm doing so, I will give you a very brief definition of terms so that we're all on the same page. So I will start with a term that is more or less familiar to all of you. Contact. The unconscious, interesting. So it's pretty deep down there. So the unconscious contains all those parts that are not in consciousness, truly. It contains all those parts that are hidden from us. It is what lies below the visible surface. It is what lies below the tip of the iceberg. So suppressed emotions, thoughts, forgotten memories, events that happen throughout a lifetime that we don't have consciousness of, that we don't have access to. Now, again, it's pretty unconscious down there, of the shadow, which is in the realm of the unconscious. So the shadow is contained within the unconscious. The shadow is what lies in the dark of one's visible personality. Right? So it's all those parts that we reject and put out of sight. Right? So displeasing traits that we don't want to face, that we don't want to have as part of our conscious experience. So here we are. We have our consciousness, we have the unconscious, and within that lies the individual shadow of each one of us. Now, Jung's scope was much larger than this. He went beyond the individual psyche. He spoke of an unconscious force that is much more powerful than each one's individual unconscious. He spoke of the collective unconscious, within which all else resides and develops. The collective unconscious houses all of our humanity's history. It contains a cultural blueprint, the history of a group, our people. It is the ocean within which we swim. It is the universe within which we all orbit. Essentially, the collective unconscious is a very awesome force within which we all exist and against which we all have to strive in order to become who we are as individuals. And this is a lifelong struggle. This is a lifelong journey that is beyond each one of us, beyond an individual life. And just like each one of us has an individual shadow, we, as people belonging to a certain group, have a collective shadow. The collective shadow is the part that is dark, hidden, unapproved, many times shameful to our people, to our group. So we put it out of sight. It contains all those unwanted traits that we reject and consequently we project onto others. Now, projection is an important and often used defense mechanism of the human psyche. We all do it. It is the mechanism we use to get away from the darkness. It is the mechanism we use to get away from what is in the shadow. Because let's face it, It's much easier to deal with the problems and issues of others than to deal with our own. So the best way to get a glimpse of what lies in the shadow, of what is projected out there, is to find out where the finger is pointing to. Take a look at they, right? Dire Straits puts it very poetically, of course, much better than I could ever do it. When you point a finger because your plans fell through, you have 3 more fingers pointing back at you. So take a look at they. They did it. They're cruel, they're unreasonable, they're stubborn, they're evil. They are the villains. They are our shadow. As Jung put it, everything that irritates us about ourselves, interesting, others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves, and vice versa. So I hope that you're starting to see by now how no one is pure light. No one is pure goodness. The whole picture is much more complicated than we are consciously aware of, and is also much larger than each one of us as individuals. Darkness is as real and as present as light. It is also as necessary as light. It is what fully defines I, you, us, them. No one can monopolize the just, the good, the right God, the right cause, the right way. No one. And that is a fact for every human soul that ever walked this planet. A few weeks ago, I was asked to give a presentation on the topic of love. And as I was sleeping on it, I had a dream. And it was something that was said in the dream that remained with me. We are a small country, you and I. We are a small country. We, each one of us, is a country, an island, a system, a network of possibilities, a reality that is governed by one's rules and regulations. But no man is an island. Each one of us encompasses the other. Each one of us encompasses that force that we put behind enemy lines. Think of yourselves. Take a moment in private. Think of the other. Think of those that you decided to put behind enemy lines. Have it be the line of your heart, the line that defines your the line that defines your nation, those on the party, team. If we choose to only accept the ones in the inner group, we leave outside the others, and consequently, we leave outside a part of our own selves. We can never resolve our struggles, our problems, our fears, unless we confront the others. So, what are we to do? How are we to use this rather inconvenient information? Well, we can live a whole lifetime with a thick separation line between us and them. It is utterly possible. We can barricade ourselves to the bright side, leaving the darkness outside. But guess what? One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. The latter procedure, however, is valuable and not popular. No kidding. Okay. So, of course, each one of us can live a happy life. Absolutely possible. As a matter of fact, it's easier. It's much easier. That is why this lifestyle, this life choice, is a very popular one, is the choice by default. This is what we tend to do. But it is also a life incomplete. It's filled with anxiety, blame, rejection, fear, guilt. That's a popular one. Surely you agree these emotions are very common amongst us. But as Jung pointed out, there is another way. And indeed, it's the hard way. We can take strive against the collective pressure and take the road less traveled. As a first step, we can become aware of what lies in the dark, of what is in the shadow. And then we can confront the shadow. World mythologies and religions are full of examples of heroes who chose this way in order to be complete. The knight slayed the dragon. Christ confronted the devil. Luke Skywalker fought Darth Vader, who incidentally was his own father. There you have it. There it is. Well said, Lucas. We are they are we. Unless we accept this reality, we cannot accept the full picture. We cannot unveil the truth. Okay, let me clarify this. Even though there's a collective pressure within which we all operate, this is an individual choice. And this individual choice has collective effects. Martin Luther King had a dream. So did Nelson Mandela. They both dreamed of a world that would surpass the collective split, a world in which their people would be brought out of the shadow and under the same sun as the others. Hitler also had a dream. In his dream, the shadow remained dark, unexplored, rejected. In his dream, the others were destroyed. The manner in which these leaders approached the shadowed parts of the collective defined their dreams and determined their actions. We, like them, as individuals, can and do affect the collective. We, like them, can change history one way or another. So choose your dreams wisely. Reconsider, confront the shadow, invite the other to redefine what is imposed by the collective. Let's dream beyond the collective split. Let's allow for the creation of a common dream. Thank you.